It's like super early. Well, not super early. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today, yes, we are back in this room. And yes, I know about that. I don't want to hear it. Today is Saturday. David and I are going to go on a whirlwind adventure to do errands. And I'm also finally getting my eyebrows done, which don't look that bad on camera. But believe me, in real life, it's like... no, it's like awful. I also wanted to do Get Ready With Me because I haven't talked to you guys in a while about what's been going on with me and my life and everything. There's been a big reason for that, needless to say. So let's just jump right into it. We didn't put the heat on last night because it was like 75 degrees here yesterday. Yes, in March in Connecticut, can you believe that? So I didn't I had the heat on, but it was very low, so now I'm like, feel like death. I've been kind of teasing you guys for a while about there being a lot of life changes coming for me, and I've been doing that since like summer, I think. I've already kind of briefly talked about going through that whole thing. Now I feel like I'm at a place where I feel a little bit more free to talk about stuff. I feel like I haven't talked about stuff since like December, and now it's March, so let's talk. I have made a big life decision to leave my childcare job, and I've been kind of teasing you guys about that for a long time now, only because I personally am burnt out. I'm tired. I've been kind of wanting a change in my childcare career. I'm not necessarily in a daycare setting anymore, because the pandemic really put a lot of things in perspective for a lot of people. Well, the girl that I work with in my room, and yes, I'm calling her a girl even though she's like 15 years older than me. We'll get to that in a minute. No tea, no shade. I'm not trying to throw shade, but I think she kind of throws her own shade. So let's be real. The Booty Bender Bounce Foundation, if you could still find it, is amazing. Just the packaging's weird. So I hope that they would redo the packaging and come back with it. But anyway, you guys are probably wondering, Sam, what? Is this for real? I did way too much. Oh, well, are you really going to do this? Blah, blah, blah. And honestly, I've kind of already done it. Oh, this is really light for me. I've already kind of done it. By the time you guys see this video, which hopefully will be a Wednesday, will be my last week working at my job. And I put my 2 weeks in last week officially. That's all I'm really gonna say about that. I will be starting a new job soon. There is gonna be a few weeks in between because I'm tired of myself. I'm burnt out, I'm tired, all of the above. It just kind of sucks that, I really didn't want to have to leave my job. Besides wanting a change in career, I wanted to kind of be realistic, and I've been talking with some of my coworkers about this. My job is not a place where you could grow career-wise. Either you're an assistant teacher, you're a lead teacher, and that's it. the highest is a lead teacher, and that's it. You cannot go any higher from that unless you become the director. But the director's been the director for, I don't even know how long. I feel like she's been there for almost 20 years too. It's a very well-known daycare, basically. So it's kind of I'm so worried about my eye now. My mom has had some kind of pink eye, some kind of eye issue thing. So I gave her some eye drops I had to try and help her, because she's been really sick this week, and my job is kind of a stepping stone to whatever career you want. A lot of college kids work there part-time, or when we have closers, a lot of people, a lot of college kids work there in the summer because there is a summer camp program and stuff like that. So it's not a job where, no offense to the teacher, but it's not a job that you stay there for over 20 years. At least for me. I never pictured myself staying there for a really long time. With that being said, I'm also extremely grateful for that job because I was able to go back to it after COVID happened and everything. And there's just a lot of things that suck about it. As far as a lot of childcare centers, you have to go in when it snows, and even if all the schools are closed instead of closing. But that's mostly kind of that's not really a teacher thing. That's the owner and director thing, because I won't even say owner because I don't even think he always wants to close, and my director refuses. So we end up having to risk our lives to go to work. It's a great time. That's something too. There's a lot of reasons. It's not just because I'm burnt out, but also because they offer no benefits. And you guys know that David and I were going to try for a baby a few months ago, and we didn't because I was scared personally because a lot of reasons I'm not going to get into. One of the reasons was I was not going to get maternity leave at my job. We would have to figure it out on our own on top of having a new baby. That was like a no-go for me. They did not offer, they were trying to, I guess, get like 401k. They do have health insurance, but not like anything else, like no life insurance, no dental, no, you know, all that other stuff. I know I'm not even 30 yet, and I'm going to be 30 this year, but that's something that I'm really thinking about. I see like Social Security is not guaranteed anymore, especially like this pandemic, and people like have to fight. I've seen it all the time when I used to have to, fun fact, my mom used to have some state assistance for a little bit with me and my sister as a kid. So like I used to sometimes have to go to the state with her, and there's people there like fighting for their Social Security checks or fighting for their food stamps or fighting for this because they genuinely cannot afford these necessities even with the job they have, which is what it's supposed to be for. I never wanted to be like that, and especially like if I'm older and I'm in like my 50s and 60s, like I don't want to be fighting for my own money. That's stupid. That was another thing too. And also pay an assistant. I'm sure if I became a lead teacher, I would have gotten, my allergies are also acting up too. So I don't know if my eye is just because of that or what, but even if I was a lead teacher, I'd probably get like maybe $1 more than I'm getting now. But that's not even like enough. I've seen a lot of you guys just comment and be like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this because this would be so good and blah, blah, blah. And I always said I didn't want to be in childcare anymore, but I mainly just don't want to be in daycare anymore. You know, again, a lot of reasons I just said. Another reason is you're working all the time. You get like maybe 5 holidays a year that you're off, including Christmas and New Year's Day. They close early on New Year's Eve and Christmas Eve, if you feel me. Which, again, I get it, because I know there's gonna be some parents that are like, oh my god, like, it's meh. Or there's parents that think of us as glorified babysitters, and I'm kind of sick of it. Oh, well, I pay for this service you used to give me. Well, yeah, I do, but you don't have to treat me like shit. Not that any of my parents ever have, but I've definitely had a lot of high maintenance parents in the past. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. A lot of high maintenance parents here and at my last job. You know, you guys already know the story about my last job. The job that I'm leaving now is, I have to say, is probably like the best daycare job I've ever had in my life, because extremely good to me, and I will be forever grateful for that. You know, my boss was like, oh, is it the money? Do you like need more money? And I was like, it's not the money, it's a lot of different things for me. Like I'm again, maybe it's just me finally like growing up and being mature and everything, but like I'm thinking about like my future, and you know, David and I do want to move up to Maine, and like we don't know what our future is staying in this apartment. I knew if I stayed at my job, it just wasn't gonna happen. Like I just knew that I was kind of setting myself up for failure, if it makes sense. And lead teacher, for example, she has spent, and a couple other women there that has spent over 20 years at my job, and with like no 401k, no pension, no nothing. And I don't want to be like that. No offense to them, like some of them actually, like, you know, like one of them's okay, they have their husband, the other one, you know, has a second job. As long as they've been there, like they shouldn't have to rely on their significant other or have to get a second job in order to have a pension or 401k. You feel what I'm saying? I think that my job is a good job. It is a good job, especially if you're starting out in childcare, like in daycare, and you want to be a toddler or a waddler, an infant teacher, go for it, like 100%. Like I'm not saying it wasn't a bad job. I was done. Oh wow, I did a lot. I didn't do that. But this is not like my normal everyday makeup. I normally don't do like eyes. But Saturday, in conclusion, there's just a lot of reasons why I'm choosing to leave my daycare job, and I also didn't want to waste my degree. I will tell you guys when the time is right what I'm doing. It's 2022. We are, you know, we're still in this pandemic, even though everyone thinks it's over. It's still happening. I really need to think about my future. And I spent like almost 3 years at this job, which is a lot for me, because I'm kind of someone that gets bored very easily. So when I get bored, like I move on. Like I don't want to be there anymore. Someone that's like known as like a job hopper, if that's what I call, because I just get bored and I don't want to stay somewhere where I don't feel like bored. I do love my kids, so let me just put that out there. It had nothing to do with my kids. I kind of felt like it would be better this way anyway, because I have 4 kids in my room that are actually, 3 of them all have birthdays around the same week in April, and one of them has a birthday next week, and about 2.5 of them are potty trained. So I was like, okay, if they all can get potty trained, then 4 of them will be out, and they'll just be the remaining 4, and it won't be such a bad transition for the kids. Like, I was kind of thinking of it that way for them, so that when I leave, they're not like, oh, where's Sam? But unfortunately, there's also a girl in the preschool side of my job, and they are leaving too now. So wild, man. It's really wild. Recently got this in an Ulta haul. If you guys would like to go to my TikTok, I've been doing a lot of like little hauls on TikTok and stuff that I don't get time to do here on my channel. I'm trying to get my TikTok like popping again. Like, I really missed posting on there during the pandemic, and I feel like I kind of popped up. Like, I have a few videos that like really popped off for me, and I was like, why did I stop doing this? I'm so dumb. Like, I'm so dumb. Why did I do that? But you know, it is what it is. I wasn't like thinking at that time. Instead of lashes, this is what I'm doing today, because it's also a rainy day here today. That's a big thing happening. My whole thing now too is like, I don't want to like say a lot of stuff, because there is a lot of negativity and a lot of stuff, and I finally kind of realized, hey, if you have like good things in your life, keep them private, because there's a lot of people out there that, even people that follow you, you think like, oh, they're followers, they love you. Not all of them are. A lot of them are just spectators, which is true. And I didn't really fully realize that until a few months ago. Never posted that video, that vlog that I did. Oh my gosh, I meant to do that. So back in like August, it's been like, I want to say at least 6 months since I've seen or talked to them, but I doubt they're watching this, and if they are, we had a conversation, me and my friend, and they were at a point in their life, they had just had like all this stuff going on, and they were, you know, briefly they were splitting up from their spouse, like a whole bunch of shit, and they were just like, I just want to be alone. I don't mess with no one no more. I don't talk to really anyone. I just keep to myself, or children or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, like I understand that, considering like what they were telling me of what they've gone through. I was like, oh, okay, like that's understandable, whatever. Like, I was hearing them and I was understanding it, but I wasn't fully getting it, you know what I mean? And considering I was talking about it probably since till August till like December, I was talking a lot about like that transition with you guys, of how like I don't see my friends a lot anymore. They don't really reach out to me that much anymore. I don't want to really do it. Like, it's no offense to anyone, I really just don't want to do anything when I get home from work and stuff. Like, I'm just so tired, and I just need to recharge. Like, I just don't have the strength to deal with that anymore. Not that I don't love my friends and I don't want to see them, because I do, but it's just like my time has like become more important. And I think that's what happens when you get older too, and you get married and you have kids. And I could say for a fact, 2 of my friends want to move out of state, so it's like which really upset me for a while. It really made me sad, but it's fine, because eventually I'm also gonna move out of state, so it's fine. Like, everyone has to live their life. You can't just like sit around and whatever. And like I said, after my birthday, really changed my perspective on a lot of people and a lot of things. And I was just like, because I was always swirling in my head, and I kept like canceling my birthday thing and then not canceling it and whatever, but I was just over it. You know, when you think there's some people that will be there and then they're not, and I'm just over it. So 95% of the time now, I'm just at home with my husband and my baby. It's a part of life. It's really nothing against anyone, which I feel like, you know, there are a lot of people that, oh my gosh, you don't see your friends anymore, man. And all of my friends have been like from high school and from my childhood, so it's like I don't really have a lot. I mean, you guys know I had some friends that I used to work with, but I don't really like speak to them anymore. Like, they don't really talk to me. It's kind of a two-way street there, you know, but it's fine, because, you know, it's part of life. You all got to move on. I believe that people come into your life for a reason, to either teach you a lesson or something along the lines, you know what I mean? And I've had a lot of people do that, including this friend that I'm telling you guys about, that I had this conversation with. So, you know, I was like telling them, like, I don't want this to happen. Like, I don't want to lose everyone around me, because I'm just someone that loves, you know, but it had to happen. I mean, I didn't lose everyone. Like, your mind kind of, once you get older, kind of opens up to a bigger picture of the world, and you start seeing the cracks and the red flags of that you never saw before, especially in some people you've been friends with, or maybe whoever your partner, whoever you're with, you're starting to see all those and recognize like stuff in the past that were red flags, and you're like, oh, wait a minute, this isn't okay, this is not right. Why was I allowing this? Why was this happening? You know, that too. I was really realizing it with a couple people, but mostly like one specific person, and I was like, oh boy, yeah, no. I'm over all that. Like, I'm over like trying to, that's the other thing too. I feel like I've also come to the realization in my, I feel like this is all just like part of my spiritual journey, because it is like you have to lose people to gain people, and you've got to lose yourself to find yourself. That's all really it is to it. Work on yourself. Using a NARS Laguna bronzer, by the way. Apparently a lot of people don't like this. I don't mind it. It's okay. It's not, oh my god, excuse you. I don't really mind it. It's not that bad. But yeah, this is like how I do my makeup now. You guys remember when I was just like just realized a lot of red flags too that I was having with people. I was realizing a lot of like, oh, wait a minute, this is not normal. This is not okay behavior. This is not okay. Why did I allow this? That's also kind of why I've been like protecting myself too a lot. Like, I haven't been posting crazily on social media anymore like I used to. I don't want to like put stuff out there unless it's like, you know, positive and happy. Even this video, for example, like I'm telling you what's going on in my life, but I'm not telling you everything, because I want to keep things to myself, because there are people out there that want to see you drown, and it's not happening. So the people you least expect, the people that are close to you, some people that are close to you, which brings me to my next thing that I can remember, because I can't remember that thought I was saying off the top of my head right now. So my lead teacher, I'll give you guys a little story time, is also planning on leaving, because like I just said, she's been there over 20 years. She's tired of it. Whatever, I get it. She's been there over 20 years. I would never, but you know, go off, sis. I'm sure things were a lot different back then. That's like half of my that's basically my entire life she's been at this job. She started there when I was, if I do the math right, I was either 4 or 5 years old. That's wild. MAC Soft and Gentle, by the way. Yes, I still have that. A lot of OG highlighters just because I like them. She's been there for a long time. She was also planning to leave. We both were kind of planning to leave. My closer is actually leaving the beginning of May because she has her internship. She's in college. I ended up putting my 2 weeks in. Let me back. Excuse me, thank you. Let me backtrack a little bit here, because she was always been talking about, like, oh, well, when I leave, you guys will still be here, blah, 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 blah. And I was always thinking to myself, yeah, okay, I'm not going to be here like you think, you thought. And she really thought, because I don't think she was expecting me to, I hate disparaging. I don't think she was expecting for me to put my 2 weeks in before her, because her whole thing was that I should tell my boss I'm leaving before I put my 2 weeks in, because that's the right thing to do. Now, again, this woman has been at this job for over 23 years. Is anyone picking up what I'm putting down here? Like, no, there's nothing wrong with telling her. Like, should I maybe have? Yeah, but like, I didn't want to. I didn't legally have to either. Basically, she's always thought of it as like, you have to agree with her and her opinions, otherwise you're wrong. That's the kind of person she is. You know, I sympathize with her because she's been a lot. She got divorced a couple years ago during COVID and everything. So like, I sympathize with her a lot. I do. But at the same time, no one likes her. And there's a reason no one likes her at my job, because she's very, I don't know how to describe it. She's just very in her ways and very OCD with a lot of things too. And so, whereas I don't even think I ever told you guys, at my old job, I used to do all the stuff in the room, like do the decorations, do the cubby tags, do like everything for the kids. I used to do all that stuff, like change out the decorations for the seasons, blah, 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 blah. She would not let me do any of that, because she has like bins that are labeled and organized in specific ways of where she has her like spring and summer and fall, winter stuff. And it's a little like scary, I'm not gonna lie, but I get it. She's been there a long time, whatever. When I put my 2 weeks in, she got real weird. She got real bitter, and she got real nasty with me, because she was jealous. She didn't really think I was gonna do it before her, and I was, because I was done. I'm not gonna lie, also kind of done working with her. Like, I was just clocked out. That became like a whole thing in itself, and she was just so pissed, like so pissed. And the only reason I found out that she was talking a lot of, even before this, she was talking a lot of SHAT about me, was when I would go down on my break and my closer would come and do my break. She would text me and say like, oh my gosh, she's going off about you again, that you're leaving, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, you know, every time, like, we always used to like talk about her and just like, oh, well, you know what, that's just her, you know, that's her thing, whatever. And, you know, at the end of the day, I don't wish ill will on this girl. I'm calling her a girl because a lot of things she does is immature AF, and she does talk a lot about other people and then gets mad when people talk about her. It's like a whole thing. Like, I hope she finds happiness, and I hope that she finds a job that she loves and everything. I don't understand how. It's just a lot. Wish her all the happiness in the world. I do. I hope that she finds herself and finds her dream job and whatever. Mind you, this girl, the only reason I'm calling her a girl is like not to necessarily degrade her, but it's just to reflect on her behavior. Like I said, she talks so much about other people, but yet gets mad when people talk about her and makes it a huge thing that I have to listen to for an hour. So serious. Neurotic? Let's talk about neurotic for like 2 seconds. My closer and I used to do this thing with the kids in the windows with like a tiny bit of soap and water and paintbrushes. They would paint the windows. It's just soap and water. You can clean it off after. One time, I guess my closer did it after I left and forgot to wash the soap off because she was in a hurry to leave. That Monday morning was absolute hell for me because I had to listen to her go on and on and on and on and on about how no one forgot to take the soap off the windows and blah, blah, blah. And then after that, she was just like, okay, well, next time, how about we just do water? Let's not do soap because it doesn't come off the windows. Like things like that. She was very like, like with everything. So for a while, I'm not gonna lie, I felt like I had to just kind of like do everything so she doesn't say anything because I don't want to hear it. Like I would do some stuff sometimes that weren't even a big deal, like the garbage, like not letting the air out of the garbage bag going into the can. You know what I mean? Like sometimes when you have the pail and you have the plastic garbage bags with like the pull things, you know what I'm talking about, guys. And I'd put it on there, and sometimes I wouldn't let the air out. I would just leave it. She would get so angry about that. She'd be like, you have to let the air out. You have to let the air out. I don't understand why these girls don't like open up the whole bag before they put it in the, like, it's a garbage bag in a garbage pail. You feeling my vibe, guys. This is what I've been dealing with for almost 3 years. So that's also another reason why I'm leaving. I don't mean to go into a rant about this girl. I hope that she finds the peace and happiness she needs because, man, it's been a wild 3 years for me. Or any time that I was like, oh, I took time off and whatever, and like for my birthday or for Christmas or something, like I would take like New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve off or something, she would just always be like, well, I don't know if you're gonna even be able to get it because I have that whole week off. And like she would always take the week between Christmas and New Year's off to spend with, you know, I'm not gonna say, but yeah, spend with, yeah. I understand that, that's fine, but she would always get very snippety anytime I took time off or my closer decided to take time off. Like my closer was off these last 2 days this week. She was very pressed about it, and I'm like, why are you so pressed? Like, I don't understand. You're still gonna be able to leave on time. Don't worry, that's the other thing too. Based on the background I just gave you, you can picture she was pretty upset when she found out I put my 2 weeks in before her. And I was basically leaving her alone with this new girl that's been shadowing in our room to replace me temporarily, and then they're gonna find someone for me, and then yeah, that's all there is to it. I just really don't care anymore, guys. Like there's no pleasing people. There really isn't. I think I'm a short nail girl now, to be honest, because I can't do this anymore with long nails. This is wild. So she just basically made this huge thing because I was leaving before her, which I think is really unfair. Not to mention the whole time she's just like talking, you know, to my closer that, oh, well, I should have told our boss beforehand because that was kind of messed up because she didn't say anything. I didn't legally have to. I wasn't going to. And my closer after, I love her, she was like, Sam, you did what you're supposed to do. Don't worry about it. Don't let her like get under your skin. Don't let her bother you because she's just petty and jealous. And I'm just like, it's fine. She's just petty and jealous. I just have to think to myself, the day I'm filming this Saturday, so I have 1 more week and then I'm done. And I never have to see her ever again. And if I do, I'm walking the other way. I'm so serious. Not because she's a bad person, but because I just can't anymore. But on a positive note, more life changes are coming. I'm very excited about them. And I have to go now because I've been filming this for 40 minutes and David's probably like, we have to go. We gotta go do our errands. And I have a brow appointment at like 11, but it's like probably 8:30 right now. I'm probably just gonna throw more dry shampoo in my hair. I've had it waved all week, and over time the waves have kind of like faded down almost straight. But that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this like brief get ready with me. Moral of the story, I guess. Change is a good thing. Change is scary as hell, but it's a good thing. Don't let petty coworkers bother you. They need to work on themselves before they can put out some energy into the world. And you try to put out that negativity in the world, you ain't doing nothing for no one, and not even yourself. I really feel like when people are just negative and petty, it really just kind of shows who they truly are as a person or what they're going through, and it's like, it's not okay to like project on people and talk so much. I love you guys so much. I hope you have an awesome day. Ugh, I feel like drained talking about it, so I apologize. Hopefully I cut some of that out so it's not so like negative, because this is a positive video. We're positive here, very happy. I'm so happy. I'm making a life change, and I'm going to be leaving my job, starting a new one, and everything's going to be great. And I will obviously update you guys when that time comes. I gotta go finish getting ready before my husband gets mad at me. And he's driving today, whether he knows it or not. That's another thing. I've been driving again a lot, which is scary and exciting at the same time. I will be getting my license at some point soon too, so that's scary. 30 is my year. 30 is my year to just, sorry, I think 30 is my year to kick it. So we're gonna do it. But I love you guys so much. Hope you have an awesome day. Subscribe if you want to see more of me. Like this video if you enjoyed. Turn on post notifications. You don't win though. Took all the energy out of me. I post a new video, and I will see you all in my next one. Whether it's a haul or a vlog or a cleaning video or who even else, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.